News Radio 1150 KSAL 834 on a Tuesday. Beautiful Tuesday in Salina. A little bit of rain on the way. Beautiful temperatures right now, 73 degrees outside. Indoors, quite comfy. Todd Pittenger right with me, and Library Director Joe McKenzie on the job.
Good morning.
40 years. Joe, great. Welcome back, first of all.
Keep bringing that up, that 40 years.
Well, I thought I'd been at the radio station a long time. I've been here 22 years. You've got me darn near doubled at the library. Wow.
Yeah, it goes fast.
Yes, it does. It feels like I've been here maybe 2 years. Feels like you've been there maybe 4 years, right?
Yeah, and then you lose track of time and you say, well, that was 3 years ago. It was actually 7 years ago. Yeah.
It's true. It's true. But welcome back.
Thank you.
Great to see you again. And congratulations on almost a whole career here spent at the public library, making it a better place. How about some changes? I just want to reflect back a little bit. When you arrived in Salina, the building was there, right? The same
building
location?
opened in 68. Yeah.
You stepped in, and there was a lot of books, and we've gone through a lot of changes. Tell me what you walk into.
A traditional library, what people think of as a stereotypical traditional library that mostly focused on information reference questions and circulating books.
Right.
And since then, it's kind of opened up that we do a lot more programming. We have added the class program, a variety of things for children. We've expanded our meeting room space, so the public uses the meeting rooms on a regular basis. And then the formats of what we do circulate to the public, that has just really expanded, in a lot of AV, all the movies, audio books, and now ebooks. We circulate 4,000 ebooks every month. And then, of course, the changes in the physical space.
Yes.
You need to update, your physical space and take care of your infrastructure and things like that. So we've been fortunate to, keep a good facility good,
When you took over, I'm understanding that basement wasn't quite the way it looks today. Was it an empty space when you arrived?
It was anything but empty. because when you have storage, you
use it.
You throw nothing away,
Oh, boy.
And so we didn't. So it took several years to clear out that basement. The Friends of the Library helped with that, with book sales. They really were getting their book sales started at that time. And then the planning. So that whole moving the children's library downstairs probably was a 3 or 4 year project for sure. And that really opened up the upstairs as well. And so we're real proud of our facility. We're real fortunate. And I've been blessed over the years, to have good, community support, great staff, expanded staff, and it really starts with community support and the budget for the library that enables us to set aside dollars for capital improvements as well as to add staff and pay them and build that collection.
Tell us how technology has evolved. I remember when I was a kid growing up, we'd go to the librry. If I wanted to check out a book, you had this great big card catalog. I'd pull out a drawer, and I'd thumb through all of these note cards and look for the book that I wanted to get. So tell us about how technology has evolved. All those cards are gone now, aren't they? They've been gone a long time.
They are gone, and thousands of cards. And people kind of had some sort of emotional attachment sometimes to those card catalogs. The weird thing that I remember is that since I started in 77, we didn't automate the catalog until 92. So I worked basically 15 years without a computer.
Right.
And then now you look back and you think, well, what was that like?
Yeah. How did I
do that? Anything done, And I remember getting excited about getting an electric typewriter.
Right.
It's like, whoa, wow, this is the end.
That actually had an eraser on it, and I didn't have to use the whiteout, right?
Yeah. Well, the card catalog, and so expanding to websites and to online databases and expanding those, and then of course now social media. So technology is a big impact in helping people access information, and that's what our business is about.
You talked about funding. I want to know how does the city, do they view the library? Do they look at visits? How many books get checked out?
We do.
Okay, and then you take that data and show that to represent. How does the funding come along? Well,
the library's not a city department. we stand alone. If you check your tax form,
you've got a board, and you can do a mill levy, right?
Yeah, we do a mill levy like that. And so our board over the years has been prudently conservative, I would say. And so our growth has been more along the lines of cost of living type of thing like that. So they take a look at what our business is doing, but really what's going on in the community and what the economy is doing in the community, and gradually, we try to keep pace with that, taking a look at our needs in advance, whether it's for capital projects, because, not being a city department, we set aside money for our own capital projects for that. So that's part of the deal, as well as building that. We spend $336,000 a year on materials, on books and videos and database contracts and things like that. So it all adds up.
Yeah, I'll say it does. It does. It's such an important hub, and it's changed so much. I imagine in 1977, you probably thought, nobody thought that it was the death of libraries, but with the internet coming on and information at your fingertips, people may think, why do I need to go to a public library anymore?
That's a good question, and people probably made that comment to us, but the fact is that we were too busy to really take that in, because people kept coming to the library, and libraries kind of evolved and changed, added those other formats, as well as became, the word you used was hub, and so a community center where, previously we had no meeting rooms. Then we had the Prescott room downstairs, which is used a lot, but now we have the Learning Center across the street, and that's got 2 public meeting rooms, and then we've got the Tech Center conference room where the public meets as well, and we've got 2 small conference rooms and 2 quiet study rooms. And so that's one of the ways that the community uses the library in a different way, by kind of coming in, and either whether it's a program or a meeting, that's a good place to meet, and that's what they do.
And for those people that don't have a computer at home or internet access, you make that available to people also, correct?
Yeah, and we've been doing that. We since probably close to 20 years, I suppose. We had a need once the internet started. People said, well, I don't know how to do that. Right. So we started with a trainer. Someone come in. We have a full-time trainer that comes in, and in 2005, we expanded the library for that technology center, and we still have that. We have a learning lab. We've expanded that program to include children, and so in the summer, we have a summer learning program for kids that runs all summer, and that's popular, that's exciting, and it's good to see that age group in the learning center. And then we also do gaming in there now, just for a popularity type of thing like that.
You got to change with the times, right?
Yeah, and change with the community as well.
Library Director Joe McKenzie is visiting with us. He's been at the Salina Public Library since 1977. A great run. Hey, quickly, bed bugs. This thing popped up, and you sent us a notice, and we chatted about it briefly. Where are we on the bed bugs?
Where are we? And you said, quickly. I'm not sure bed bugs are all that quick. They're little hitchhikers, and we don't find them in great numbers. There's no infestation at the library, but we decided to be proactive and put out the press release last week to. Because there were comments on social media that were getting out there, and people were talking about rumors. We got a couple of phone calls. One of the phone calls that we got on Friday about the time I was working on the press release was just an awareness, and a woman said, I come there all the time. She says, I'm not complaining. I just want you to be aware. I know you'll take care of it like you take care of everything. And so that's what we have been doing. Bed bugs have been around for a long time.
Forever.
And then you've been hearing in town various, stories that, now they're here, now they're there. And finally, it dawns on people that, they could be anywhere, every neighborhood in town. They come in different ways. They're hitchhikers. You can sit down in a movie theater, an airplane seat. And so when we became aware of them, we, got educated a little bit, learned how to kill them. We bought a hot box. We bought a steamer.
There's no easy way to get rid of them, is there?
Well, there's no easy way except that you just try to stay on top of it. And you do that by, weirdly, overturning chairs and picking up cushions and looking in there with a flashlight.
You just got to stay vigilant, don't you?
Yeah, you stay vigilant, and then you also, get help.
Right.
So you get professional help that educates us, educates our staff. What does that look like? This time of year, we have just cockroaches and other bugs say, hey, it's kind of cold out. Let's go inside.
Whatever,
Spiders inside. And we've always had that, so we've always had people spray the perimeter of the building for that. And now we have somebody else come in and help us with the bed bug situation. But they are a nuisance. And, it becomes kind of an emotional thing. Most people don't want to even think about bugs, let alone bed bugs, and so there's a scare, and there's a kind of a bias about that, like, ooh, once they're there, they'll never get gone.
Right.
No, we kill them if we see them. And I told staff last week, I said, it dawned on me that we circulate 40 to 50,000 items every month.
Right.
Okay, we get 20,000 people through the doors, circulate 40,000 items, and it is so rare for somebody to come back and say, okay, these 3 were clean, but this one, I found a bunch of bed bugs in it. Could you clean that up? That just doesn't happen. Now, we've got a heat tent. It's kind of an interesting contraption, but it heats up hot enough to kill the bed bugs, okay?
But not damage the material.
Yeah, not damage the material like that, and so we would, if we found something like that on our own, because the staff has to kind of go through books to check for other damage as well. So if they see, brown spots, if they see, oh, that looks like that was a bug, so they'll quarantine that, because they don't like, we have to keep the place clean and safe for our 50 staff that work at the library. They don't like bugs either, and so, as Todd said, you end up being kind of vigilant about that, and staff will quarantine that book, will share it and take a look and say, okay, yeah, to take a precaution, let's put that in a hot box. And if the book was older and messy enough, we might just get rid of it. Like that.
Good update, Joe. Thanks for. You do stay vigilant, and you get the job done.
It's just part of the job. We clean restrooms. We steam the walls in the restrooms. All that stuff. It's just part of providing a good public service.
All right, Joe. Before you go,
yes,
I know what you're doing in December. What are you doing in January then?
Oh, good call. Well, I'm going to rest, Todd. But my wife right now is in Prairie Village taking care of our grandchildren. We've got 2 beautiful granddaughters, and so we're going to do more of that. I've got a son that lives in France, and his wife is French, and so you're going
to enjoy life, right?
I've got to learn French.
To live over there for a while.
I want to keep learning, but we'll also do some.
Maybe
traveling.
There's someone at the library you could check out to help you learn French.
Hey, I'm going to make a note of that. Thank you. That's good.
Joe McKenzie, thanks for a great career. Thanks for helping our library
You're
be
welcome.
wonderful.
Yeah.
You're the man. Appreciate it. Joe McKenzie, kind enough to drop by today. 847 News Radio 1150 KSAL, talking about the flu shots next.
This is Rachel Lurch with the Art Minute for Tuesday, October 3rd. Toddler Tuesday, the month Toddler Tuesday, the month Toddler